I just don't have any time. Do you ever feel like that? Well, I'm here to tell you, as a list maker and scheduler and someone who is always busy with something, I know what it's like to feel like you don't have any time. But I'm also here to tell you that it's probably not true, because every day has 24 hours and we choose how to prioritize it. I know that there are things that maybe aren't unexpected, like maybe you have to go to the hospital and you're there for hours and hours and that was not planned, and your job may not feel like a choice because you kind of have to do it. And I know that. I really get it. I do. But I want to make it easier for everyone, because I feel like we have things really backwards sometimes. And I just want to make this really, really simple for us. Let's go back to the fact that every day has 24 hours. One of my favorite teachers was, I think it was in 8th grade. It was like history, or I don't remember if it was history or social studies. I think it was history, and forgive me for getting that wrong and not knowing for sure, because he's my favorite teacher, one of them. But his name was Mr. Iverson. I don't know his first name anymore, but he was this older man, Vietnam vet, and he was so genuine, and he would teach the 2 students that were listening, even if everyone else wasn't. He never really yelled. He did kind of lay down the rules, but he just taught the people who wanted to be taught, and I just respected him in so many ways, and I wish that I could have met him sometime after I left junior high, and I don't know where he is, what he's doing. I know he's surely retired, and I pray to God he's still alive, but I don't know what's gone on with him. But one of the most memorable things that he did was he broke down 24 hours of our day. So what he did was he went to the whiteboard and said, okay, here's how many hours you probably should be sleeping. Let's be generous and say we get 8.5 hours. And then here's how much time you should be spending on homework. Maybe 2 hours a day, or at most. There shouldn't be that much more. And he was showing us how many hours it might take to eat 3 meals a day. And he showed us how much time we actually have for things that we keep putting off, and how we say, you know what, when I get around to it, I'll do it. And he had this joke. He had this little round plastic discs about an inch wide, and that said round to it on it. So he gave us a round to it so we could finally get to the task that we've been procrastinating. It was just a joke that he did, and I always loved that. He did that when my older sister was a student also, and I just always remembered that. And when he showed us how much time we actually have, and how we always have 24 hours, we choose, for the most part, things that we do in a day. And when hospital emergencies and errands you thought you didn't have to do, and work takes up so much of your day, we still do have time, and we either choose to use it one way or the other. And so I just want to give you a few things that might help when it feels like you have no time on a consistent basis. The first thing is to list things down. Prioritize what you want to do and when. It might be you do it by the longest activity to the shortest, or maybe ones that are due first, or the ones you maybe want to do first. Maybe like you have to do something that you enjoy before you do something you really don't enjoy, or vice versa. I mean, I don't really care how you do it. You, for the most part, probably know what works best for you. And if you're married or you have children, of course you have to adjust things maybe to them sometimes too. But you discuss it with the people that are involved and say, okay, we need to do this by this date and this by another, etc., 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 and cross it off when you're done. Sure, you can put in your phone and delete the calendar and things, but it's nice to have a physical list to write on too, almost always, because it's very therapeutic to cross it off and to see it. Keep it somewhere consistent, and you can see them getting done. When you delete a calendar, that's great, but I don't think you get the same satisfaction in accomplishing something. But it gives you the second point here, which is to have grace when you don't finish something on time. Maybe you give yourself enough time to accomplish what you wanted to, or maybe you just procrastinated too much and you learn for next time, I need to spend my time a little bit more wisely. I mean, this is just an adjustment thing, I'm sure. So 1, make lists and prioritize things. And 2, have grace when you don't finish those things. And number 3, always, 100% of the time, or if I want to be nice, maybe 95% of the time, put people before tasks. Now, I say 95% because there might be things you have to do even before seeing people, because you can't just spend time with people and never get your job done to earn money for your family. Like, it's a cycle, obviously you have to do things you have to do. But if you ever have to choose, do I need to, I'm trying to think of an example that might not throw everyone off, but even just chores. Do I have to sweep this floor, which I'm looking at I need to do, or do I need to see the friend who just texted me that she's having a hard day? Should I call her first before I sweep? Probably. It's not the best example, but honestly, maybe it's just the extrovert in me, but I can't think of a single instance where I'd put people second. Do I put people second sometimes? Way too much. I look at my calendar, my schedule, I'm like, I got to do this first, and then I can enjoy the company of others. But sometimes it's okay to put it off. Maybe not a week, but just a few hours to go see someone, make a memory, or comfort somebody, or get some advice, or just do something fun. Sometimes, you just need it. And then when you're recharged, you can do those things quicker or more efficiently. It's kind of simple, but we tend to just work. And that's kind of an excuse eventually. And I bet some people aren't even honest about it. Sometimes they just want to Netflix and chill instead of actually make the effort of seeing someone. I'm not trying to put blame on anyone, but I just see it happen so much, and people get hurt because they want people to interact with them and not just say they will eventually. Yeah, let's hang out sometime, and then it never happens. And that's happened because of me too. I've done that. It's so easy to do, and people just accept it. So we're like, oh, they've probably forgotten about it. And honestly, that's just sad. It really is. So make your list and prioritize things that are important to you. And for those of us who follow God, spending time with the Lord should be one of those priorities. Starting the day, if you can, with it, because He'll tell you what you need to do that day. He'll tell you, oh no, you don't need to do that today. That's not actually that important right now. And it won't be an audible voice necessarily, but in your heart, you will feel the Spirit of the Lord urge you one way or the other. If you're asking Him to show you, and honestly, if you're asking God, show me the people I need to interact with today, whether it's people I know or someone new, help me, because I don't know who you want to cross my path today, and I have so much I need to do, I can't see it. And trust me, someone will text you or call you or come to your house, or something will happen, and if it doesn't happen, maybe you can step outside and see if you can cross somebody on their path. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not God. I'm not going to tell you how He's going to work in your life. But you always have 24 hours in a day. And I know that there are people who work in 2 jobs. Maybe one of them's overnight and they have 3 children. One of them's sick, and then their mother's not in good health. And they maybe have a spouse in jail. And there's so much going on that it seems like you don't have any time to yourself and you can't take it. And there will be some days like that. But on the way to those things in the car, on the 40-minute drive to wherever you're going, could you maybe spend some time praying? Or could you listen to an audiobook that might encourage you? Or could you take a 30-minute nap somewhere, even in the middle of all that? Or could you maybe get that chore done that you did put off a couple days ago to see a friend and finally get that done? I mean, it takes sacrifice, and people don't want to sacrifice any sleep or any time with people or any amount of health. They want everything to be perfect and comfortable, and yet to still get everything done. But sometimes you have to choose. Do you want to make a memory or get more sleep? Or do you want to get that chore done or not? It's kind of like there's so many choices we make in a day. So we make the right one. And will you have grace when you don't? It's okay. You see that clock behind me? I don't actually know how much time I have until the next thing I have to do today, but trust me, I have calendars and notes and things all over the place, and I need to have grace today. if I'm running a little bit behind. You do too. You have 24 hours in a day. Let's make them count. And instead of just leaving it on that note, I will tell you that you count more than the task you have to do today. I hope you enjoyed. Now, go get around to it.